like I remember, I really remember yesterday, I know Caroline and Kay, y'all were able to finish the problem. Y'all explained to us how y'all did it.
See, what happened was, we took the 5% and added it to 100%.
Okay.
Got 1.05.
So when we are compounding 5% annually, that means we're gonna add the 100% to the 5%. So over the course of the year, to get from 300 to 315, we multiplied by 1.05, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So then what?
1.05, 12 times.
So now that we know that we're splitting it into 12 months in the year, right? We know that this 1.05 is gonna be split up 12 times. So how did we get this right here? Either the 12th root of 1.05 or 1.05 to the 1/12.
So we're gonna add 12 times?
We had it 12 times, right? So we knew that there was gonna be a factor multiplied 12 times, or to the 12th power. So to solve for that, we're able to take the 12th root to make it multiplied by the 12th root of 1.05 every time. Or 1.05 to the 1/12. What does this symbol right here mean? This squiggly symbol.
No. Does it start with the A? No,
Yeah, it does. It does start with an
I got it.
A. Not Adderall, that. Come on, you got it.
Acrobats.
Not acrobats.
What's the second letter?
C.
P.
Approximately.
Approximately. There it is. What does approximately mean? Do we remember?
About.
Roundabout.
Close.
Close. Yes.
Estimate.
So
Yeah.
when we plugged the 12th root of 1.05 to the calculator, this decimal was way longer, right? I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was like 1.00479, so on and so forth. There was a lot of decimal places there. But we rounded to this 1.00407. So this isn't the exact answer for this 12th root, it's approximately. We rounded to that. So we already kind of talked about this. This number we multiplied by the account each month. What number was that? What do we multiply every month?
Whatever you get by dividing 1.05 by 12.
Did we divide 1.05 by 12?
300.
He wasn't here.
I know, he's
You just
I'm
guessing?
trying.
he said it, he's trying.
Okay.
Look, Mr. Kenny, I'm
So,
learning.
That's good.
so we didn't divide 1.05 by 12.
He's thinking.
We took the 12th root of 1.05 because we were repeatedly multiplying 12 times, right? So we took the 12th root to cancel that.
Hey,
So-
Gavin.
Picking up what you're putting down.
Picking up what I'm putting down, good.
Hey, Gavin. Mask up.
Are there any other questions about this before we move on?
What'd you do with that number? Just added almost 300 over the previous one every time?
It's a good question. So we started with 300, and we knew that to get to 315, we multiply by 1.05. And so now we need to split it up into 12. We're going to do that 12 times. We took the 12th root of 1.05. So then what we did is said 3.05 times that number, 1.05 to the 1/12, got us this number right here, 301.
You mean 300?
Yeah. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. Thank you. 300 times 1.05, 1 to the 12th, gave us this 301.22. Can someone remind me why we rounded to this hundredths place instead of continuing on with a decimal?
Because it's money.
It's money, right? So it's cents. So then we had this number and we multiplied it again by that. And again and again and again. So we're just repeatedly multiplying this number by the previous term.
I got it.
See what I'm saying? So, are there any other questions on that? Some good questions. Alright, so let's look at something we also looked at. So for number 3, we had this equation, A equals 300 times 1.05 to the t. And we also had this equation, which we found from the monthly, which was 300 times 1.05 to the 1/12 to the 12t. So we needed to verify that both gained the same results. How did we do that? That they were equivalent equations.
Donovan, are you paying attention?
So Donovan, how do you think we show that these two are equivalent?
And number 3,
Number 3, yep.
we did 300 105 to 112
Mhm.
equals 300 times 105 to 112. But the parentheses around 105 with the 12t, so it cancels out.
Why do these cancel out? What's happening here? When we raise a power to a power, what do we do?
Because one of them is a frac, so it cancels out. It's like multiplying and dividing.
So why did we multiply 1 divided by 12 times 12t to get those to cancel? Why did we do that?
Why or how?
Why? How did we know that we needed to multiply those?
I don't know.
What rule tells us we can do that? You know? So you remember, whenever we have a power and we raise it to a power, what happens there?
Cancel?
What's the rule? So it doesn't cancel at this point, but we have a power raised to a power that tells us we can multiply, and then it cancels.
Let's create a quick example so that we can all be clear about this. Can you write x squared all raised to the third off to the side?
So what would
Sit your
this
stuff down. We need to talk outside real quick.
x squared to the third, what is that equivalent to?
Mona, you can sit your stuff down real quick.
How'd you get that?
Sit your stuff down.
We multiplied, right? So, same principle holds. If we have a power of 1/12 raised to the power of 12t, what do? Multiply. So then, 1 divided by 12 times 12t, what happens to these 12s? They cancel. So that then gets us to 300 times 1.05 to the t, which is exactly what the first equation was. So those equations ended up being equivalent.
Hey, Alan, simmer down.
Alright, so we saw that those were equivalent algebraically, but how can we check graphically to verify that? What can we use?
Desmos.
Could use Desmos. What else? Could use Symbolab. What else? What do we have in this classroom we could use?
Calculator.
Calculator. So I'm not going to ask you to do that right now, but you can use the calculator. So
You're an idiot.
when you plug it into the calculator, this is what you get for 1.05 to the 1/12 to the 12x. This is what you get for 300 times 1.05 to the x. Are those two the same?
It's like you played with
Those two graphs look the same to you, other than the color.
The red one has more of a curve to it, and the blue one kind of has a slow curve.
So that's because you're kind of right. That's because this one's more zoomed out.
Okay,
Now it's more
so
zoomed in.
they are supposed to be like dead on similar, they're not supposed
Yeah. So these are the same.
Okay. It looked different, and I was like,
No, you're good. It's just because of the zoom. So these would be
Yeah.
right on top of each other if you did it on the same graph. So while you could use the power rules to show that they're equivalent, you could also graph it. All right.
Y'all told me to stay in line, that means you guys too, come on.
Hey,
Come on, guys. Hey guys, I know it's Friday. I know we're like one period away from going home. I just need y'all to stick with me for a little bit. All right.
Word, Alan.
I'm falling asleep and I'm staying awake, so.
Those two things don't go together, those are opposites.
But don't worry. Now guys, listen up. I'm done lecturing you now. Don't worry. We're gonna look at number 5, and I want y'all to work together in your groups. Talk in your groups. Try to figure it out. I'll come around. All right. That's more entertaining than me standing up here talking to you.
I was enjoying it.
Thank you. All right. So
I
y'all
understand it a lot better.
Y'all work on this. I'll come around and see if y'all have any questions.
What's
I ain't
your
talking to you.
What's your name?
I'm not talking
She
to
don't
you.
like me.
Hey, you feeling pretty good? You don't understand kind of what you're
She
doing?
said she was a princess, and Mr. King, but I get it a lot better when you do it.
She said what?
What?
Not lying.
What she said?
Oh, she said she was a princess, you don't talk to her.
Guys, just focus on the task. You can talk about that when you get out of here.
Alan, you're really
Whatever
out of
y'all are
line.
talking about.
What? Oh, he's the one that keeps knocking on me.
Okay, well, the next one goes, like the Saturday bid.
So we just wanna
Was
see,
that the third?
we're not trying to solve this, I'm just asking, what does this 1.0
Yeah, you can't keep them.
in this equation?
Saturday,
Okay, so
I can't.
whenever we had this 1.05, what were we doing with that?
Besides the point.
We
Yeah,
added
besides the point, I think we should all focus on, including.
So on this,
Okay,
number one, so what, how did we use the 1.05? What did it mean?
so-
Um,